Next year, Jerusalem. Well, all right, it's Richmond. But old-time Virginians did think of it as their holy city, much like the South Carolinians thought of Charleston. And we're going to bring out all the good things about Richmond for next year for you to be a part of. Our theme, faith, freedom, and forgiveness. Our emphasis is on religion in the Civil War, emancipation, and reconciliation in our time. It will be centered upon commemorating the 150th anniversary of the Civil War and emancipation. Most of us in this room can remember the centennial of the Civil War, and looking back upon it, it was not altogether a great thing. It coincided with the Civil Rights Movement. The emphasis of most of the Civil War commemoration for the centennial was around gods and gentlemen. And now most of us are trying to think in terms of involving a commemoration of emancipation, since the centennial really did not bring in much interest from African Americans. So this is a far more balanced approach to look at religion in the Civil War, but also emancipation, and then to be practical about reconciliation in our time. The setting will be on the beautiful campus of the University of Richmond. There'll be an opportunity for housing on site on the campus. Their newest and nicest dormitory, which overlooks the lake, has become available to us. Some of you will think that you have been granted a study sabbatical to some English university. You'll think you're at Oxford or Cambridge, and you'll enjoy the beautiful architecture, the various advantages to that campus, the wonderful dining facility on the campus, the various museums that are available on the campus, and the park-like setting that will all be yours for those days. The program, we have 3 keynote addresses already committed. Dr. Ed Ayers, who is a Southern historian of note and president of the University of Richmond, will give an address. Dr. Harry Stout, who has written widely on religion in the Civil War from Yale Divinity School, has already committed. And Dr. Andrew Manis from the Macon State College. And then many of you in the room will be presenters at the conference. To focus on reconciliation, we're planning a panel discussion in which a number of prominent Richmonders will talk about Richmond as a model, good and bad, towards racial reconciliation in our time. And then located at the heart of the campus is the Virginia+Baptist+Historical Society. And for the last 3 years, we've been at work towards this very same theme, looking at the 150th anniversary of emancipation. Some of you picked up our brochure about the exhibit and the Free Indeed project. The exhibit will be open through next year, so there'll be times during those days that you'll get to visit the Historical Society and see this large exhibit on the trials and triumphs of Virginia's enslaved and freedmen. It's a subject that's really never been treated before. We also did a very comprehensive examination about the relationships between blacks and whites in Virginia prior to emancipation in this book, also called Free Indeed. And then we compiled a name registry. We went through the hundreds of antebellum church records and pulled out the names of all of the slaves, the freedmen, and the white surnames and put them into a searchable database. And already people are coming looking for their roots from that. So you'll enjoy visiting the Virginia+Baptist+Historical Society. We're planning 2 special luncheons, one of course for the Baptist History and Heritage Society, and then one for the Virginia+Historical Society, the Center for Baptist Heritage and Studies, which will be sponsoring the event. And then I'm rather excited about what we hope to do for an afternoon. I hope to be able to board buses and leave from the suburban location of the university and go into downtown Richmond. First to the American Civil War Center, which is a state-of-the-art, new historical site that for the first time examines and interprets the Civil War from three perspectives: the North, the South, and the Blacks. It's a fascinating museum, and it's located at the historic Tredegar Iron Works, the iron works for the Confederacy down on the James River. And then we want to take a motor tour of some of the historic sites in the downtown area, and then over to one of the historic African-American Baptist churches, so we can get a glimpse into their history and what they have to offer, and then to the oldest Baptist church in the city. So we plan an exciting afternoon of things to do in that regard. Well, you also have the opportunity to come early and to stay late if you're of mind. This would be a great opportunity to visit some of Virginia's historical and cultural and recreational offerings that it has. After all, if Richmond is the holy city, then Virginia is the Holy Land.